the kind of work you're doing and the importance of that, particularly in this season when we think about Thanksgiving. I thought that would be a good time for us to just really spotlight that.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity. You know, this is a really important time of year for us, and it's particularly important for the people that we serve. You know, the food bank is one of the largest hunger relief organizations in the country. We support a network of some 700 community partners.
Wow.
Across 29 counties in Metro Atlanta and North Georgia. And through that network, we provide around 63 million meals.
63 million.
63 million meals every year to about 750,000 people.
Wow.
And so this time of year, I mean, those folks need help all year long, but this time of year is particularly difficult for those families because if you think about it, you know, food is at Thanksgiving a thing that brings us together. It's like connective tissue. It is part of our family history. It's part of what connects us to our communities and to others. And for the people we serve, not having access to food is also about not having access to community and to family and to the kind of social network that really helps all of us feel valued and part of the larger world.
See, that's what's so fascinating to me is I wouldn't have thought of that in the first thing I would think of. I would think of, gosh, hungry folks that, you know, want food on Thanksgiving, but I forget about the importance of the community and that connective piece that food really serves.
Yeah, it's you know, food brings us together, and we think of food as kind of a tool that helps strengthen community, strengthen families, give people a better opportunity in life. And, you know, again, this time of year is just a time where that's particularly painful for the people that we serve. Now, the great news is that we can help solve that problem, right? I mean, we can help provide food to those folks who need it and really give them an opportunity to have kind of a Thanksgiving, to have other holiday moments that are a little more joyous and a little bit more optimistic than they would otherwise be.
Yeah. So part of the purpose of this show is I want to make sure that we talk about not only the good work you're doing, but how we, as a community, both community of folks around this area, but also listeners anywhere in the world, can help support you. But I also want to have our listeners learn a little bit more about you, and even as a leader, how you got into this seat. So tell us that journey. What ultimately got you to sit in this seat of running such an incredibly impactful organization?
Yeah, well, you know, I often say, you know, I've got this is the opportunity of a lifetime for me to sort of be in this role. I've been in the role about 4 years, and I've been with the food bank now about 7 years. You know, how I got here, I'm a public school kid from Mississippi. I grew up in a family that wasn't affluent. We weren't poor. We were just kind of working class, and so I never myself went without food. But we also, you know, were the kind of family that bought stuff on layaway and went on one vacation every year, maybe, or every other year, usually in a car. That said, I grew up around kids who really, many kids who really struggled. You know, this was Mississippi, and I played sports with folks who were in public housing and often really struggled to have enough food, to have opportunity in life. And I saw in those early years, you know, the different kind of opportunities that were available to me based on my race, based on the degree to which my parents were invested in my education, compared to those other kids that I went to school with. And just they had very different opportunities in life, and that has led to different outcomes in life. So that, I think, motivated me at an early age to want to make a difference, to help level the playing field for some of those kids that I grew up with back home in Mississippi. I started out my career after college with an organization called Teach for America, and taught for a couple years in Compton, California. I worked for Teach for America. I spent some other time in the nonprofit world. I helped start an organization called Charity Navigator, which many people will know as an evaluation, an organization that evaluates the financial health of other nonprofits. And then after I did these things in the nonprofit world for a while, I went to a big corporation, the Home Depot, and really spending 7 years kind of learning some management skills that I felt like I needed to learn to really be impactful as a leader in the nonprofit space. And that kind of paid off, but ultimately I wanted to get back to the nonprofit world. And when the opportunity came up to join an organization as respected and effective and impactful as the food bank, I just jumped at it, and I haven't looked back. And it's really worked out well for me, and I'm excited about now where we're going at the food bank.